We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Kiss, Blood and Stardust, Issue 5, written by Bryan Hill, art by Rodney, Buchemi, colorist was Adriano, Augusto, letterer was Troy Peteri, editor Kevin Kettner. I have cover A, which was art and color by Stuart Sayger. Now this is the final issue of the miniseries. We have Alicia making her passage to being a servant of Lilith, while the band Kiss prepares for their final confrontation with Derek, and he is trying to get assistance from a demon, so he turns everybody at a concert into minions, and it just sort of ends. It's a very rushed book. The art is the same quality as the other issues. It's a little bit of a mixed bag at times. Some of the scenes look pretty cool, others need a little bit more work, but for a Dynamite book, it's not bad. It's a fairly decent digital art. The monsters looked cool. Kiss looked fine. The ending was incredibly rushed, though. It really felt kind of like there was too much being wedged into this book that really needed more room to expand upon. Parts of this probably could have been in the previous issue, since they kind of gloss over the ending of that one, and it's not really addressed as to why that power was manifest in that issue and not really utilized more in this one. So I think this probably should have been expanded into an issue and a half, and half of the last issue could have been cut down a little bit. There were a lot of problems I had with the story being too compressed in this issue. It's a very weak ending for the miniseries, and it does hurt it overall. I would have a hard time recommending the whole thing. I really like the cover. It's really cool, like all the other ones. From a distance, it looks really cool, but up close, you start seeing a lot of flaws with it. And that's kind of how I feel about the whole storyline. There were elements that were really good, but once you really start to think about it and look at it, there are a lot of flaws with it. And this issue really exemplifies that. There's like a sense of weird girl power sort of thing, like self-realization, and it really was too heavy-handed in some respects and never actually elaborated on what this girl's powers are. Like, she can sing. That seems to be her whole magic power, and it's kind of glossed over and it just abruptly ends. So it's not really said as to what happens with this girl. There's no indication that it's going to be part of a greater storyline or anything. It just sort of exists. So I think Bryan Hill tried pretty hard to tell a coherent story, but the ending was just incredibly weak. If you really like Kiss, you might like this series, but the way it ended was just a deal breaker for me. I can't recommend this for trade paperback if you're buying it new. If you're going to buy it used or at an extreme discount, okay, as a Kiss fan, you might enjoy it, but as a casual comic reader, I don't think you're going to like the ending. The payoff just isn't there. It doesn't have the same impact that it probably was meant to have or should have had, and the characters all just feel very rushed through the whole thing, so the pacing's off pretty considerably. So I'm gonna say, unless you're a diehard Kiss fan and you're picking this up at a really massive discount, don't bother. That being said, that's just my opinion. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews, and we hope to see you on the next one.